It's crazy. The screen was just black. You know how it usually is when we start the streams, and it just automatically came on when I clicked on here. So that's cool. Anyways, this is ridiculous designs that MCU won't use. You would think since the ridiculous designs, why would MCU use them? But anyways, let's see what they talk about. I saw one for Hawkeye.
Guess what, everybody? We're talking about MCU looks. We're talking about MCU costumes. Leave a like if you could, because sometimes they might nail the costume out of the gate. Iron Man. And then also like your Captain Americas. You know, it's been altered to fit the real world, but it's mostly accurate, except for the little wings.
No little wings.
Yeah.
I am confident in saying that is going to be a recurring theme here.
Agreed.
Lack of little wings.
Lack of little wings, yeah. Lack of spandex, lack of little wings. But then sometimes a character might evolve into their costume. So like Scarlet Witch was just like, I'm in a trench coat and boots and whatever. But then it eventually is
like a flasher, just a trench coat and boots.
That's right. But then it's like it's the whole deal. It's the crown. It's all the abilities and everything and whatnot. So I've got a list here of characters that I think haven't quite nailed their comic book look or their most iconic one as of yet.
And you're going to list them, and we're going to boo and jeer.
We're going to boo and jeer
and say, "Get accurate, idiots!
Get more feathery wings."
Yeah,
we'll say.
That's right.
Speaking of Thor. Now, the Thor costume is a hard one to translate. I feel like they've done a pretty good job. And I know people might even be thinking, but James, Thor did have his helmet. He had it in Thor 1 and also in Thor Ragnarok. That helmet doesn't count in Ragnarok. I like the look, don't get me wrong. But Thor 1, he has his traditional Thor helmet.
Little wings, little feathers.
But what's wrong with the feathers, Mason?
Not feathery enough?
They're not real feathers, which
sure.
they often were. It was just like a soup bowl with some feathers sticking off it.
That's exactly right. It was embarrassing, quite frankly, and we want Chris Hemsworth to be embarrassed as presumably his comic book counterpart was back in the day.
Exactly.
You've got it all, don't you, Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah.
Well, you should also have embarrassment for wearing a soup bowl with ostrich feathers attached to it.
Look,
boo and jeer to you.
Boo and jeer, I say also. I mean, I think they've done a pretty good job of that costume all in all.
Yeah, and I mean, it's got a, he's not the traditional mythological Thor. He's got to have like the red and the blue together, and a cape is a heck of a thing to get working in the modern era. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. Speaking of capes.
How abs?
Yeah, abs, mostly abs. Vision, Mason.
Go on.
So
well, I would argue, James, he's pretty accurate. Both the ridiculously colourful version and the White Vision version. But you're saying...
Yeah, but even then, the ridiculously colourful version isn't as colourful as the original comic version.
No, it's more nuanced.
Yeah.
Rather than a red,
yes,
there's an aubergine.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
To be fair, we did get shades of it in WandaVision.
Shades of aubergine?
Exactly. Where he's wearing his more comic book accurate costume for Halloween.
Yeah. But you're saying you wanted that all the time?
No, absolutely not.
You wanted the enormous disco collar?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's a green spandex with an enormous yellow disco collar. Mm-hmm. Giant gem in his head. He looks like he's just wearing a stocking over his face.
That's right.
It's horrendous. It doesn't work. In live action, I think they did an excellent job of translating the Vision.
Nevertheless, boo and jeer.
Boo and jeer, we don't like it. How about this?
Go on.
So Hawkeye in the comics, for one, he's more purple, right?
Yes.
And also he has more than 7 arrows, which is what he seems to carry around in the movies. What is he also missing from the movies, Mason?
That ridiculous helmet.
That's right.
They attempted to replicate the ridiculousness with a ridiculous haircut.
Yes.
In the last one, but no, give us the helmet.
Some people defend that haircut. We have a very specific video talking about it, but he's too old to pull it off, and there's too much length at the back. It doesn't work for him. Yep. I'm sorry. Maybe you can pull it off. That's right, I'm talking to you, Mason.
Maybe I could.
But this guy cannot.
I gotta go.
Anyway, I didn't mean it to devolve, but I think, why not give him a mask, see what he looks like. He doesn't need it, because everybody knows who everybody is in this universe, but why not?
That's right, yeah. I reckon bad. I reckon it'd look bad.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I would rather the haircut, quite frankly.
Boo and G, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Do you think I could pull off the helmet, though?
Definitely.
Thanks, man.
Because it looks so bad, you'd have to bloody pull it off. Am I right, everybody? Got him. Anyway... Here's one that's just more of a casting choice. But Aunt May in her movies has just gotten younger and younger, hasn't she?
Agreed.
She's a very old woman in the comics and has always been.
But who wants to look at an old person? Yuck.
Nobody ever. So every franchise, they just take her down a couple of decades, don't they?
They should.
So who knows how old she's going to be next time around? She's probably going to be his niece.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to work. Boo and jeer, I say. Exactly. I say grey the hair out, tie it up in a little bun, maybe a cane and a shawl.
Spider-Man
Let's go for it.
skin.
Let's do this for real. You know what I mean?
Agreed, yeah.
Let's stop mucking around.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, speaking of feathers, Mason, I know you like talking about feathers, and we can talk about these two at the same time. Both the Falcon and Vulture.
she can be
Now,
that.
they've got cool mechanical wings in the movies, and
But
some...
what we want is ridiculous mechanical wings.
No, we don't even want mechanical wings.
Fully feathered wings.
That's right. Which is what they have. Just a spandex and feathered wings. How do they work?
Flapping.
Flapping. It's
is
mostly
the
just
answer,
flapping, yeah.
Same the way Namor the Submariner's like little wings on his ankles work, just flapping.
There's rumors he's going to show up in the next Black Panther.
Ankles flapping?
Do you think so?
Yeah.
They'd give him like fish. I don't think they'd do like feathery
They
ones.
give him fish wings?
Yeah, something like that. You know what I mean?
Okay, sure.
I don't know.
They got to give him something because otherwise he's just a flying man in a Speedo. The general public are not ready for that. So they've got to give him something. I think they will give him the little wings. Anyway, speaking of little wings and
Yeah.
big wings and ridiculous dumb wings and ridiculous powers, also I think they should give back Falcon's ability to talk to birds.
I agree.
He gets a blow to the head
Yep.
and he wakes up and he's like, that's Sparrow's talking to me.
Or he thinks it is.
Yeah, he's gone mad.
Good. Excellent. Let's do some villains. We can rapid fire them, or we can
Okay.
just get stuck on one for a really long time. That's
I
how-
would love to do that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. It doesn't have to be the first one, but it can be. Batroc the Leaper has surprisingly made a few appearances in the MCU. He's got
Wild, isn't it?
I know, it really is. He's got a tactical suit. He's doing his leaping.
He's got a sort of a similar color scheme, and again
Yeah.
in that Vision, like more nuanced.
Yes.
What you want though in a Batroc the Leaper is you want just a fully purple bodysuit or
Yep.
whatever he's got
And,
going on. You know?
and big yellow underpants.
Yeah.
Don't forget the goatee.
Yeah.
The big moustache and goatee.
And you want a shirt that says "Love to Leap."
That's right.
Just so it's comic book accurate.
And just anything he's doing, he's just 2 foot leaping it. Like
Yeah.
he's getting into a toilet door at a restaurant.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
2 foot leaping it.
2 foot
Do you know
leaping
what I
it,
mean?
That's right. Yeah.
He's coming down the aisle to get
Yeah.
married. He's 2 foot leaping it.
He's doing the high jump at the Olympics, 2 foot leap. Didn't make it. Bad job. But 2 foot leaping's all he knows.
That's all he knows. That's right. Then we've got the Mandarin. We're going
Yeah.
to be seeing very soon. The real Mandarin. We've had various incarnations.
And the comic book version is very much sort of like a Genghis Khan
Yeah.
styled warlord,
And
And
they've-
sometimes he's got a nice suit on, but sometimes
They've changed it up also more recently because of certain stereotypes. But yeah, initially he's just like a cackling Fu Manchu looking idiot.
Yes.
Essentially. And I can see why they moved away from this and why they didn't want to tackle it for so long.
But you're saying bring it back.
No, I'm not saying
Interesting,
that. I mean, look,
interesting.
hey, if you want to take a swipe at this, let's see it. If you think you can do it,
Yeah.
you should do it.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Kevin Feige road test it yourself at Comic Con. just put it on and see how it goes.
And I also just want to quickly talk about Zola, because Zola from the comic books, he does end up in a big computer screen multiple
That's right,
times, but he's in a big clunky robot.
Yeah.
And he just wasn't in a big clunky robot.
At no point has he been in a big clanky robot. Of course, they put him on screen.
Yep.
They put him on a USB drive.
He actually did go into a robot in the Captain America video game, which is an in-betweenquel.
Ah.
He's jumping in and out of robots and you fight him in boss battles, but he ends up back in a human body. That's canonical, maybe, or maybe it isn't. I want to talk about a few more, though, before we
Go on.
wnot things up.
Please.
So, Netflix...
One we can get stuck on, hopefully.
Yeah, let's find out.
Great.
Netflix, I think they've some pretty decent ones, some not so good ones, some translations that work, others that don't. I think Iron Fist is bad because they never really attempted it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Daredevil is good. I think that evolved in a way that was natural and felt more real worldy.
And I think Luke Cage, they went, all we have to do is put a yellow shirt on a man.
Yes.
Thank God. This was easy.
They briefly did the tiara though, didn't they?
They did. It's true.
But the Punisher, now he often wears a trench coat and he's got the skull. That's like his look
The
now.
modern era,
Yes.
it's just very much like more or less kind of like civilian bulletproof vest, coat, something like that, leather jacket, something like that. Just a t-shirt with a skull on it. But original recipe, the Punisher.
Yeah.
He's a man in a skin tight onesie with some white booties and gloves.
God damn, I love that look too.
Right?
You don't want to see that?
No, I want to see that. And the bullet belt around his waist makes up the teeth of the skull.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yes, please.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
It might be something you'd see in that Punisher arcade game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just going for it.
Might be if he showed up in WandaVision, that's how he'd look.
Yeah, probably.
Embarrassing is how he'd look.
I like it.
You couldn't pick anything up. Your gloves would get all dirty.
That's true. That's true. We've got one more though, and it's actually for an upcoming character that we have seen in previous movies in a previous universe. But Blade, you might know him as the all leather. He's got the sword on the back, the bulletproof vest. He's doing a spin kick, as many as you can see. Sunglasses, night and day. He's got the fangs. He's got a sweet ass haircut. He's got the widow's peak.
Oh, he's got that fade. Oh my God, yeah.
You can't stop him. But that was a look that was invented for the movies. What
Yeah.
did Blade originally look like?
British.
Yes.
The worst way you can look. And if you're thinking, well, what, like Austin Powers? You're not that far off. He's got some jodhpurs. He's got some knee-high boots. He does have that disco collar.
Yeah.
He's got some like some big stoner glasses. They're like got a yellow tint to them. He's got a big afro.
Yep.
He's got a big safari jacket. Oh my God, he's got it all.
He certainly has. He's got a lot of whatever it is.
Bring back whatever that is. Yeah, baby.
They have to-
groovy. Baby.
They have to do the Wesley Snipes thing, though, don't they?
They should,
really?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. At this point, there's no going back to...
No. I mean, as soon as they did that look in the movies, they went for the comics. Oh, yeah, we should. Actually, maybe we should, right?
Yeah, and also he was hypnotized to think he was British. He's actually not British.
Oh, wow.
No, he is British.
Okay.
He's still British in the comics, but there's...
Really?
Yeah,
They hang on to that.
I mean, everybody just imagines him American, but...
Yeah, there you go.
He's from old Blighty. He's going down the chippy.
He'd have to be.
That's right.
Get some vinegar on those chips, he'd say to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One deep fried kebab, he says, and then I'm going to kill some vampires after I put this down.
It's got garlic on it. That's how he does it. Anyways, look, if you've got any other ones that you're like, that one's not even accurate and I'd like to see it, or that's not accurate and good because it's a bad one,
Yeah.
we'd love to hear it. Maybe we'll come back to this.
Who would you be your favourite superhero to go down the chippy with?
You
know?
Someone fun. Someone who'd pay.
Tony Stark.
What is that?
Would he?
Just Tony Stark's wallet because he's dead now.
Oh, yeah. I'm fine with that. All right. This has been a video, though. And guess what? You can actually get a lot of these videos early at bigsandwich.co. Plus our podcast, The Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows.
It's crazy how much can change in 3 years. Tony Stark's dead. No, he's not. He's Doctor Doom. Black Panther. Black Panther movie about to come out. No, it came out. It's trash. Blade about to come out. No, it's not. We don't know when it's coming out. So much other stuff I could go through. But I won't. Yeah, I just won't.